broadcast my iPhone. Anyway, let me show you what we've just done, and that is, I wonder if I got it put together. It's easiest. It's just plain easiest to simply use everything and look up World Editor. Did I spell it right? Bigger. 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 You don't want to get any bigger for me, huh? Bigger. Wow, really? Okay. And I'll have to go out. I'll have to go to you and put you out that away. Are you seeing any of this, you guys? No, you're not. Let me help you out here. I'm going to go to open up. What's it called? What's it called? And I'm going to open up virtual desktop so you can see what I'm doing. And that means that we have to open up. Actually, I could have launched that from shortcut in inside of the desktop here, because I do have a shortcut for it. But let's try opening up my view, and I'll let you see my view of what we're going to be working on, and that is Knox County continued. Well, I think you can see that now. Uh-oh, I don't know if my voice is still there. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, let's see what you see. Let me throw up the, where is it? Not the virtual desktop, but, oh, we haven't even launched. Yeah, we've launched VR. Where are you, buddy? There you go. And let's display VR view. And bada bing, bada boom. Let's see what happens when we hit Windows and Y. And, okay. Now, remind me that I need to get rid of and put away this guy, because this is now where I am, and I will get back into my own view. I think. Steam view. Where is my view? Hello? Oh, I know what my view was. It was right here. And I didn't type in world. I went WAPworld. World editor. Bada bing, bada boom. And here's what I did. And I could very well have messed up. I have not messed with WED. Except in the latter edition, and I created a lot of scenery that you can see on my channel back in 10 years ago. This one is, well, as you can see, Stinking Creek Photoreal 1.51 copy 5. Well, what does that really mean? It means the recovered files that I had created some while ago, well, 10 years ago, when I was flying X-Plane for the first time, and I said, hey, I need to recreate what I did in FSX here in X-Plane, because I'm sick and tired of you know, being at the beck and call and the impossibility of seeing Microsoft doing anything for us with FSX, since they had abandoned us for pretty close to 16 years. So I said, you know, yeah, FS original which was green, and the pictures were basically stick figures that were moving like a slideshow. And anyway, I went over to X-Plane because I'd heard good things, and the flight models were outstanding, but the scenery sucked for the most part. Could you buy third-party scenery? Yep. But I found out a way to create your own, and as we X-Plane users know, that was called Ortho for XP. Done by a fellow named, he called himself Oscar Pilote. So here's what Stinky Creek Photoreal looks like, and I need to get rid of Barberville, and then we're about to do that because I copied this, and you'll see what happened in just a moment. In 1, 2, 3, open, and here we go. This, folks, is Barberville, and that's what I'm working on now. I used to have photoreal picture, and I still do, of the Barberville area, and as a matter of fact, right over in here, if I'm not mistaken, this is the shopping center, and that was done with GMAX. Oh no, you know what this is? This is the Creek Mart. This is Knox County, Kentucky, folks. And this is a road that goes up at a 45-degree... Let me make sure that you're seeing this picture. You are. 45-degree angle, folks. That goes up 45-degree angle up to this mountain. Now, up there are now 2 towers. What did I put them there? What is that? Let's go to point out mode. Oh, for those of you that are not familiar with WED, WED is the world editor. It is provided to us for free by Laminar Research so that we could draw our own scenery, and it's a wonderfully sophisticated piece of work, and that's how I created the farm. What I'm now working on is Barberville itself. So we already have it with photoreal, copying the satellite imagery from Google. Yeah, absolutely. 10 years ago even. But I was using a program that would do only one thing, and that was give us the photoreal. It did nothing for AutoGen. So that means you're flying over very cool autoreal. You can see my flight to, or love letter to Knox County 10 years ago on my channel. Check it out, because that's a very valid example of what I'd been working on, drawing the farm, and finally ending up with the not the inclusion of this, but the towers for this, because here is the farm, and we'll zoom out to let you see how it is in relationship to Barberville. As we move the farm to the right, and Barberville, you can see, is to our left. And as you can see, that's from 2 separate satellites. But so this is a boundary I've drawn around what I call Barberville, which is connected to the farm by this road right here, which is 225. 225 comes along Stinking Creek and over here to where the school is. And I drove a bus in what is known as the Stinking Creek Loop, because Stinking Creek extends itself all the way out and down and around here. I can't tell you exactly where it goes, but it's pretty famous. And they call this is the west side of the loop, and there is the east side of the loop. That's what I drove when for the last 5 years of my driving a school bus here in Knox County. So what is this you're looking at? This is see all these examples of thingies. All right, all of these thingies can be thrown into the actual geolocated stuff that we draw with World Editor. So all this green is forest, and it's made up of a specific forest. There are about 8 different forests available. So if we look at the library, for instance, from Laminar themselves, you'll see that we've got things that are broken down here. And that extends all the way down to here. Everything is alphabetized. So, for instance, we are looking at not only Laminar stuff, but the libraries of Mr. X, NAPS, NF, Open Scenery X, RA library, RD library, RU library, and Handy Objects, GSE PBR, Heli Scenery Objects, and, of course, Laminar stuff. So, I was thinking about, I wanted to send this up to the gateway, which is X-Plane's gateway. If you use their scenery tools, namely what you're seeing right here, WED, but also the objects, the 3D objects that they include with their scenery, because they can't be responsible for any third-party scenery, no matter how good it is. And as we all know, there's some really bad, and then there's some stunning scenery, namely from Orbix and the likes of such. Anyway, this green stuff is right here. You see forests? And if I go to forests, I can choose what kind of forest I want from the Laminar library. However, by virtue of the fact that I have all these external libraries, I can pick up foliage that people have drawn from photographs all over the world. They have photographs of Hindu Kush trees and rose trees from Beijing, and on and on and on and on. So we have an incredible library access to virtually everything you can think of by dint of folks that have taken the time, take the picture, learned how to draw with 3D computer-aided design, and share that stuff that they did and put it up for availability. And that's what all these folks have done. Everything from the libraries here all the way down to Open Scenery X, all the way down to RU Scenery and Shop Shed. No, that's RU Scenery. All of that is folks that have become known for their contributions. So what am I doing with forests from Laminar? Good question. Well, the reason I'm using a forest is because I intend to eventually send this up to what is known as Save to or Export to Airport Scenery Gateway. I already have one airport up there that became to be the standard for a couple of versions of X-Plane, but somebody superseded me, the somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can improve upon my design and submit it again, and we'll see if 1A6 gets to be the one that's getting disseminated with X-Plane 12. We'll see. We shall see. I've forgotten the young fella's name that was in that gateway. But anyway, that runs the gateway. Y'all do. Y'all know. And I think he wrote the manual. So anyway, this is the area that is covered by my little airstrip right here, which is known as K69 or Carnes Farm. It runs 2,160 feet. The original had some nav aids, but X-Plane doesn't allow you to do that because it has to be an actual airport, because X-Plane is used professionally as well. I could do that in the FSX world and did create VOR, actually VOR DME. What else? ILS and NDB. So the NDB was right down here, and the VOR was right up in here, and the tower was about in here. This is all forest, though, and this is Warrior's Path north, which runs actually right to the, and comes out near to the house, which is scenery that I created right here. And I found out that not only could you see the contributions that are done by other folks, but if I go, let me see, local, can I do that? Objects. How about farmhouse slope? These are all objects that I created and drew. So for instance, what is this? This is, well, we'll start off with Rick Allen's place. And this is a little truck that I made use of from one of the libraries. So it works, and what you do is you get the skeleton, if you will, or the XYZ coordinates in space, and in other words, it's made up of a mesh, and then you get the texture. You take pictures of what that object was. And in this case, it was a logging truck, because as you might well imagine, because I put in forest here, yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of Daniel Boone Forest, as a matter of fact. So, or part of it. So this is the property this is the top of the mountain up here, and you'll see that. We'll fly over it. This is a lead-in light, so I can't put a real radio in there, but you'll see that making use of my little GTN 750, I can certainly create cookie crumbs and put a little GPS marker right there. And I'm in the process of trying to find out where the coordinates are, the proper coordinates. You see those little green stars? Well, if you look over here, that says Rex's scene. Okay, well, if we look at let's see what we can see about Rex's place. Rex composite, that might be it. Let's see. Yeah, it is. So as you come around Stinking Creek Low Road, which is, whoops, I gotta move with my right mouse. Stinking Creek Road, which is actually 223, coming out to the big old highway of 25E, which goes all the way, well, it comes from Corbin, goes out to Barville. There's Barville there, Barberville. And yes, this is the tile of 36084. It's actually minus 084 because you go to the west of the Greenwich Mean Standard Line. Longitude turns negative. So this is 36 degrees north and minus 84 west. And that's where the farm is. And Barberville is, as you can see, even further west. And there is the 2223 coming around here like that into 25E. And I also created down here Middlesboro, the airport down there, and that's where 1A6 is. Anyway, we also did in photoreal Pineville, but I haven't really done anything with it. I'm going to do the hospital in Pineville for sure. Anyway, I actually drew in the original version, and I think I still have the scenery for the shopping center because I walked it off and took pictures and slapped those pictures on the top of the wireframe, and lo and behold, it became an object could be placed, and I placed it right there. And so I did do the shopping center. What I need to do is the hospital, and I need to create an exclusion zone around. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and create. So anyway, let me explain. This is my stuff. right here, and you'll see it when we go around. Here's a Binghamton Cemetery. Now the reason it's black is because it's designed to be, this is a photo, and I created an image of it and actually made a wireframe of it that I could lay this image down on. And so this is something you'll actually see out where Rex Allen's place was, where you saw the truck. Anyway, what was this about? Oh, yeah. So, that bad texture. Also, this is the for real, measured out and meeting the specs and designs of, I guess, the county, maybe the state, of the bridge that goes over Stinking Creek. And there is cement in here. I just wanted to do the bridge itself. But I did include a road, just so you know, for you scenery developers. You'll see it. The toughest part was insofar as to getting this scenery, was placing it. God, what did I use? The very first placement program that was available. You guys know what I'm talking about. It way predated everything else. It was the first one. Anyway, that's before I drew this photo reel. I think I drew 4 plinths, 4 supports, and in factual fact, this is what it looked like. And as you can see, the rail side, and yeah. Oh, actually, you can see the rail. Ooh, we're missing the rails. The top of the rails. Why? What happened? Well, anyway, that's the Stinking Creek Bridge. So we got to do all of Barberville, and I got to do an exclusion zone here. This stuff in green are exclusion zones. So here's the this exclusion zone through this exclusion zone. We'll do Control G and make a group of them and call that, well, I think, I don't know if it's just the hospital or not. I think it's just the hospital, guys. So I'm going to do Barbara, Billville, Barbara, A-R-H, exclusions, which means now that we can go close that up, so you don't have to look at them, because yes, we know that exclusion 11 through 19 belong to that, because we are not dealing with Carnes Farm anymore at this point. Carnes Farm is in this scenery right there. What you see here are the nav aids that X-Plane has put inside. Well, here's the deal. This is called Stinking Creek Photo Reel, copy 5. And yes, I found 5 copies, and yes, they were all copies of themselves. So I guess I was paranoid in my process of trying to back things up. Anyway, this is Stinking Creek right here. So this should not be Barberville. Well, guess what? We could, instead of opening this up, we could have opened up something else. We can close this. Wait, first, cancel, because here's what we need to do. We need to go ahead and put, I did all of, yeah, I did include. You see this? This is a boundary. Let me go here and hit delete, because I didn't want to create anything. This is a boundary. And you can see exclusion zone 666, this big thing. And that includes all of the Barberville, downtown Barberville. And as a matter of fact, ought to go out this far. So let's include that far. And let's come down, as a matter of fact. which means that this didn't have to be here and this didn't have to be there. But it also, if I do that, it means that I'm going to have to, if we cut out all the objects, facades, beaches, lines. Oops, what did I just do? What did I just do? Go away. What are we deleting? What are we excluding? Beaches. So objects, facades, forests, beaches, road networks, lines. I think we got one more to do. What does it include? And strings. I have not yet made use of strings or facades yet, guys, and I understand you could create some really interesting stuff with scenery. So, anyway, that scenery for Route 66, I don't know what that scenery is. You know what? I think it's over on the other side over here. Yeah, it is. It says redo. I'll have to check it out. But here's why we're here. We can get rid of this. Why? Simply because let's go in. Oh, by the way, this is my Father's Day gift to you dads who are seeing weenies who do scenery or use scenery. So instead of looking up World Editor, we're going to look up Barberville. And it's not going to be .exe, it's just going to be Barberville all by itself, I believe. Okay. And let's go to see what was the last thing that I accessed. When was it accessed? And what are those? Flights? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, the Barberville that you see here is the same Barberville that you will see inside of Xpoint. And it is Barberville because it's a copy of, well, let me show you. Let's go to search for, make use of, oh, okay. Here's your gifty fathers and Seeny Weenies. For Father's Day and Seeny Weenie Day, folks that draw it, make use of it. Here's a little gifty that you don't, if you don't know about, that's a gifty from Chaz. This is called Everything. It's by Void Systems. Void Systems. You can look up Void Systems like this here. Let me see that you're seeing the same thing I am. Okay. By the way, I believe what we're doing here is making use of a very cool thingy called virtual desktop, which is helping you see what I see through my goggles. All right, so we're going to type in, instead of google.com, we're going to do something else, and that something else is going to take us trying to figure out what I'm going to go to, but I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to go to right there, and we're going to, well, we already put in right here. We're looking for Barberville. Here's file. Here's file, edit, view, search. Here's what you can file, search on. You can put up another, what the hell? Excuse me. All right, and I hit F4. Here's the interface, just so you know, for, wow, did it again, for virtual desktop. Get over here. Virtual desktop is here. And what it allows you, here's where you set things that you see. Let me make sure that you see what I'm seeing. You are. Okay. So anyway, under settings, you have video, 3D options, SBS, full, half, over and under, 3D glyph, and inverted left to right. VR options, super sampling, MSAA, and show chaperone, and I don't know what return to the desktop, what that means, exiting it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I remember the desktop goes away when you start to run X-Plane for sure, and probably for MSFS. And by the way, the reason I'm not running MSFS is for 2 months, I have been without MSFX, Microsoft Flight Simulator, MSFS, thank you. And sorry, but I have a problem. Yes, I'm old, and yes, I'm senile and decrepit and all that. But the problem is that for some reason or other, NVIDIA's Shadow Play, which is pretty much 98% of everything that you see here, except for the stuff that I shot with my iPhone of my doings outside the house. Shadow Play is the one that gets me to you, and you to me. So anyway, I shot a lot of videos that were streamed, and while it was cool eye candy, but there was no dialogue, and I said, wait, dude, I had a microphone on. Bottom line is, the reason that I sometimes sound staggered is because, yes, I'm stupid and senile, but I have to turn, and as you know, in Windows, you have access to the microphone and what the microphone and the headset and what sound does and sounds like. You want it to be quadraphonic or 5.1 or 7.1 surround or super ultra Panasonic, whatever, you know. It's either going to be mono, stereo with a subwoofer, surround 5.1, 7. Anyway, you get the idea. There is controls for that in Windows, and it turns out that although my mic was on inside of Shadow Play, it wasn't coming through. It turns out the only way that I can hear that you can hear the mic is that I have to go to the mic, choose the proper mic, which is the one inside of the headset, my G2, Reverb G2. I've got an Apara on the way. Yeah, you bet. We'll see. Anyway, the headset has its own built-in stereo mic, and I need to talk to you guys on that. Not necessarily stereo, but anyway, that's what the G2's got, and so I have to choose that mic, and I have to check up listen in the mic setup. Well, that gets you to me and me to, well, at least me to you. And if you want to call me on Skype while I'm broadcasting, that'd be cool. He Synergy, guys. You called Chaz on He Synergy and the He Synergy channel on here on YouTube, and it's also He Synergy in Skype. Skype me, and I'll include you and put you in the cockpit. And if you had a version of X-Plane, we could share the cockpit. How cool would that be? Anyway, this is the setup or the control panel for Virtual Desktop, and that is why you're seeing what I'm showing you. Okay, so now you know that what we've already done in this file called Stinking Creek Photoreal version 5.1 copy Prens 5 close Prend, and it's stored in a place called earth.wed.xml. That's what we're writing directly to an XML file as we create thingies in this scenery, which has, and I just found out, I had forgotten, I guess, that we could go get the satellite scenery as a background to draw things accurately. Okay, so we've done this, and we're now working on this. There's nothing real there yet, except for what I have here. Geez, I don't think I've got anything there except for the actual helicopter site at the hospital. Now, that being done, and the exclusion around the hospital and the exclusion around Barberville, and specifically the area around the courthouse, and also the cemetery. So, that being the case, let's go take a look, see what happened. Will this show up in this scenery or not? Because I've had problems of exclusions not working. So here we go. We're going to go to X-Plane, and that means we got so much stuff in the taskbar that I have to go find it. There, as you could see, was Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it stopped working. Coming up on 4 weeks now, Microsoft. And I included, you guys have with Windows, and some of you are, technoids. You've delved under the hood of Windows some, and you know that there are very cool tools out there that allow you to see what's going under the hood. Well, airport. Wait. Oh, well, that's all right. Oh, I have to create a runway. Is that going to keep that scene from loading? Holy crap. All right, well, I can deal with that. We'll create a runway and make it transparent. I'll do that right now. So let's go back to the scenery. I know what it's talking about. It's talking about the airstrip right here, but it doesn't have a runway. So this is the strip at the hospital, and it's a legit strip. It's called, right? What the hell is it? It's not H5. I'll find it. But the bottom line is, it is a legit strip, and these exclusion zones. H5. Barberville exclusion zones. Oh, there it is. 7KYS. Now, you know what? This stuff does not belong here. It belongs. I need this belongs. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, Barberville is under the world. Carnes Farm is under the world. Now all this stuff belongs to Carnes Farm, and we'll close it up. This stuff down here belongs to Barberville, so we're going to change places here with Carnes Farm and Barberville. As a matter of fact, we're going to change places with Rexine, because Rexine is on 223, not 5 minutes walk from his place to mine. So, and that Rexine was also up there. I don't know why that's showing, but it is. So now here we're on Barberville, okay, and here's what's in Barberville. All right, this is H5 right here. This is supposed to be, and this has got me confused, but well, yeah, let's talk about it. You guys have done this before. I created here in this area, Barberville, I wanted to create exclusion zones because the hospital was full of trees. And the same went with the cemetery, and the same thing went with Barberville itself. And specifically Union College, and right here, the center, it's a little blurry, but you can see it there, the courthouse, and the Courthouse Square, which is the Knox County Courthouse. So I'm in the process of learning, not Blender, but Blender eventually, but Sketcher for sure. Because there's what is a plugin called Sketcher to X-Plane, which means whatever I create in Sketcher, I can bring into X-Plane as an object, and guess what? Plop, 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 just like I did with the farm you're about to see. So they're complaining that there is that I went ahead and put in that real helicopter pad. So they want an airstrip in this so-called airport, which I just created the boundary for right here in this screen right here. That's the airport boundary, airport. So what are we going to do? We're going to put a damn strip in there. You know, I'm going to create a damn strip in there, and I'm going to put that damn strip right there, and I'm going to make it this long. Why don't I make it going actually north and going east and west, or north and south? Let's make it go north and south. Neat. And oh, looky there, it created 119 for us. The length is 61 feet. Let's look at all the particulars of this runway. This is 61 feet. It's included in the exclusion zone. Its heading is 1.64 degrees. Latitude is 36.851860, and the longitude is UC. Okay. I'm not going to go into that. What class is it? Yeah, it's a runway. Is it hidden? Yes. It's going to be there. And could it have a width of what I wanted? Sure. And could it have a surface? Yeah. But it's not going to be seen. I just have to have an airstrip there, apparently. Even has approach lighting. So let's see, after I save this, which is Stinking Creek photoreal. Let's go ahead and go to File, Save, File, and you know what? In here, Validate, it should have said, hey, dude, helipad doesn't start with it. Well, don't worry about that. Airport is impossibly large, K69. We're about to get rid of K69 in the other file. What other file? The other file that I created as a copy of what you're looking at, and it's called Barberville. Uh-oh, is that the... Did I name that properly? There should be a Barberville down there, but I don't see it. I think I didn't name it properly. Okay. Oh, sorry, these are objects. What we want to do is go to the other side. Let's go ahead and close this file. Close. Yeah, I know. I saved it anyway. Yep. Go away. And let's go to wet here. And close it. And we'll go ahead and open it up again later. But here, I want to show you that inside of another file that I made, which is a copy of what you just saw. It's called Barberville. And so if we went to go to bookmarks and open up what's it called, World Editor, and we find the exe right there, we can come back there. Okay, then this one. Where is that? Oh, on drive E, huh? Oh no, we want the one on C. Okay, we were doing Stinking Creek. There's Barberville. Now, does Barberville belong where I think it is? Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see what's in Barberville. Oh. Okay. There's Barberville, but guess what? Barberville also includes, let's make this a little bit bigger. Hello. Includes Oh, wait. It's Barberville by itself. How about that? Now, you see that now this is that Stinking Creek is no longer there. Remember Stinking Creek was over here? Well, guess what? At that time, Stinking Creek had Stinking Creek and Barberville, right? Okay. This is copied from that, and we deleted Stinking Creek. Guess what we're going to do with this original Stinking Creek file? We're going to go to File, Open Package. Okay, so I didn't know. I thought we could go directly to Opening Package. Save changes. Sure. And now we're going to go back to where we were, which was Stinking Creek Photo Reel right here. Open it. And we're going to get rid of Barberville because you saw Barberville's already been done and it's got its own file, its own folder. So we're going to, this is Stinking Creek, right? That's going to include the, what's the name of the store? Creek Store, Creek Mart. Because it's so close to Stinking Creek, to the farm. So, but guess what? This is the Stinking Creek photo reel file. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to go like that. And we're going to put our finger above the delete key and say, one last time, Chaz, are you sure you want to do this? And the answer is, yep. Oh no, what do we do? Well, guess what, folks? This is not the Barberville file. This is the Stinking Creek file, photo reel. The Barberville's and the file's now got its own area, right? So we're going to deal with this, and that compartmentalizes. It's like having stereo, component stereo. That's what it's like. Which simply means that, as you know, as flyers, as simulators, that I'm coming up on my 40th year simulation. And as I said, I went back to the days when Flight Sim was used to check compatibility for so-called compatible PCs. Anyway, the bottom line is that what we see is terrific, but what we see with the inclusion of other companies that want to provide reality to us, both visually and the flight model, and now getting to be in virtual reality and motion bases that finally complete the illusion. And you have motion, you have virtual reality, putting you in 3D, and if we had what's that latest headset, it cost $5,000, and our buddy, the flight simulator guy, and another fella decided, hey, you got a $5,000, you know what I'm talking about. We got a $5,000 VR headset. There's nobody in our area that can afford to spend $5,000, except for the very few rich guys who have primo machines in the first place. We're the schlubs. We have the middle range GTX 1080 Ti, which is real hot at one point, but it ain't anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm selling mine, so let me know. HeSynergy@gmail. So, bottom line is, the inclusion of all this wonderfulness is because, yes, X-Plane was started by this young college punk, and decided that he wanted to create a flight simulator. And anyway, bottom line is that it is what it is because they came up with the creation of the flight simulator. But so did Bruce Hartwick, the first flight simulator, as far as I know, that was serious. But even Microsoft said, "What the hell is this? What flight simulator?" But they saw what it was and saw what it could do, even though it was wireframe and green only. There wasn't any color on those screens then. But by God, you could see, oh man, that looks like it's a cockpit. Holy, well, look at the history. Look at the history. Look at the history of this incredible hobby, this incredible obsession. And see where we started and where we are now. Well, the ultimate so far is Microsoft Flight Simulator, because they use their own, they had the services of their own freaking satellite, the Bing satellite. Now, it's not as up to date as Google is, and that's where we get, yes, the Bing satellite, but also the Google satellite and about 5 others for our photo scenery. And thanks to Ortho4XP, done by so-called Pilote, what is it? Oscar Pilote. That's his. It's got to be a pseudonym. But he wrote this really wonderful Python, I believe, application that takes all the elements of grabbing satellite imagery, allowing you to select what you want and what kind of resolution you want and where you want to put it, and save those, suck those satellites dry, and put that scenery into your own scenery for your own X-plane and fly over it. And that's the whole idea here. And you guys have seen the same thing, but then not with user tools as extensive as this. Now, I'll say this, that Scruffy Duck came up with what is it? ASD, I believe. Airport Scenery Tool. ASD. AST. Anyway, Scruffy Duck. Go to Scruffy Duck and see the wonderful piece of work that he did with his airport scenery creation tool. And I got to mention also the fellow that did, whose name escapes me at the moment, but who did the wonderful tool that allows us to make use of the scenery that we create in the various CAD programs, such as at the time Gmax, and now Blender, and now SketchUp, because there is such a thing as SketchUp 2, and just like there's a Blender 2 MSFS, there is a SketchUp 2 X-Plane. So while Microsoft has been led us down the primrose path and made us orphans for 16 years, and then gave us this astounding program along with the services and creativity of Asobo and wonderful Black Shark AI to create the stuff that they auto-generate from OpenStreetMap.org. Anyway, it takes a world to make your senses and sensibilities and intellect think that you're actually flying. And that's what has come to the fore, and that's what Oscar Pilote has done with our Ortho4XP, and that's what Microsoft has done with MSFS along with Asobo and Black Shark AI to create, and Microsoft's Bing satellite to create what you are about to see. Now let's see if I fixed that problem with the airport. You know what? That airport doesn't exist anymore. So why should it, once we save it and validate it, see, it shouldn't have known about 7K Wi-Fi. Let's see if they can point out. Yeah, really? Where? See, you can't zoom to the issue. He's like, I don't know. Something happened to Barberville. I don't know what it is. It used to be. Yeah, it used to be, because I just deleted it, pal. You can't keep track of me. I'm too fast for you. So, yeah, we saw it validate with an error, but I think we're okay. We're going to export that scenery pack and dismiss the warnings and actually do it. So now there is just this scenery pack of Stinker Creek photoreal and the scenery pack that you saw that was over here that has now been split off and called Barberville. Let's see what that did and see if my exclusions that I've created did, because as we load this up, I'll tell you what I did. It's been 10 years, folks, since I created this. And I always said, it's coming up on 4 weeks since Microsoft did not respond to, one, my request for help through the proper channels on what is it called? Flight Simulator. Barberville is not in there. Oh, we need to kill the Barberville earthknife. Okay, let's see. We'll say, okay. Does that mean that we're stuck? Maybe. Okay. I'm going to have to fix that. I'm not sure how to fix that. So what have I done? What have I created? A monster here? I've got one file that has all of its stuff and another file that supposedly has all of its stuff, but the original file also has Barberville in it. That's interesting. All right, you know what? Oh, that's okay. Barberville. That's all right. We took care of that. We're gonna worry about that later. I'm gonna go to understood see, X-Plane is not responding. That's fine. We're gonna close the program because we're gonna take this Barberville rather out of the situation until I fix it. And I did fix it over here, but if you recall, that was the part that I deleted. So we're going to take it out of the realm of X-Plane, and we're going to go up here to Files, and we're going to go to Desktop and Chaz PC, and we're going to go to P, where all this stuff originated, and X-Plane, plugins, and custom scenery. In custom scenery, we have everything, and you see Barberville right there. Again, we're going to get rid of it for right now. We're going to cut Barberville. We're also going to delete the scenery .ini. Where is it? Where did he go? Let's go to modified, and the latest modification will be up at the top. No, it won't, but it will be now, I believe. Let's see. Custom scenery. Yeah, let's get out of there. Drive P, and let's put it into disabled. See, yeah, there it is. Okay. And today's the 18th, the day before Daddy's Day. Okay. So we'll put this away, and now we got to go back to that file. And that file is on P. This is the place where everything well, at least lately, is. As you probably have found out that if you don't watch it, the inclusion of all these add-ins and such as Ortho 4XP and MCX and on and on and on, tools that other folks have written that we've made use of, photo scenery and the like, whatever. The bottom line is that there's so many different variables that sometimes when something crashes, if you haven't properly documented everything, and you're a fool if you don't, and I'm a fool, you can get to the point where you break it. And as you just saw, X-Plane was broken. It wasn't working because it had the Barberville file in the scenery folder, and there's something wrong with the Barberville file. Now, let's get back to where we were. Let's go back to where we were. We put it in disabled scenery. Let's see if Barberville is in custom scenery. And we'll go by name, and I see, and we put in as you know, we do things in layers, and they probably do in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's just we in X-Plane, we're told through the manual, the wonderful manual, that the way that X-Plane gives you the feeling of flying is not only with the wonderful author's code and insight and genius, but also it's done by way of layers. And best way to explain graphical layers is that the layers are done from and looked at and created for your viewing pleasure from the ground up. In other words, the first layer is mesh. That is to say, the bumps and the hills and valleys and the hills and hollers of here in Kentucky, and the Himalayas where my son was studying yoga at the foot of the Himalayas, 1.1 miles from the ashram that the Beatles went to. Well, anyway, he continued eastward to Vietnam and Thailand and so on and so forth, and wound up, he's going to wind up on Tuesday here on Stinking Creek, but is right now in Lexington, Kentucky with his sister who deviled him for 10 years until he got too big and wouldn't take it anymore. So his sister and she was no longer mistress of he was master of himself, and the two of them decided, okay, let's be buddies, and they were fast friends from that point forward. He is now with his sister and his two nephews, Ben and his namesake, James Christian. Anyway, Christian is up there in Lexington, and I don't know why I mentioned that. Had something to do with what we're doing here. So let's see. Is Barberville in our scenery here? Well, we know Stinking Creek is. Oh, we're talking layers. Okay, so first layer is mesh. The bumps, the hills, the valleys, the Himalayas. And yes, I know he's working on the bathysphere as well, the ocean floor. It's been fully mapped. It just hasn't been depicted. Anyway, because Mars doesn't have any water, we see the bathysphere and the hemisphere. It ain't there. It's only oxygen to 1/30th or maybe 70th of the amount of oxygen we need, something like 21%. What is the rest of the content? Nitrogen, somewhere around 73%, whatever it is. Bottom line is there's no atmosphere and there's no water. And so, yes, there's a bathysphere and there's ground there, but it's all one now. It's all ground. There's no water. We got water here. We got water here. So, mesh. Well, first things first then. There was the mesh, and then the Lord made the water on the ground when the hills and hollers. Yes, thank you, Jesus. And that Hindu Vishnu and such, and all them weird mystical thingies. Thank you very much. So there goes the mesh. Well, on top of the mesh are the libraries of everything that everybody who contributed to Explain have created. And so the libraries, namely Ortho 4 XP with my tile 03684, and Ortho 4 XP's overlays, which have land descriptions, land maps, if you will. There's a better name for that, and I've forgotten what it is, but land class. And that's the overlays, but the land class also has on top of it, in other words, the land class is the infrastructure. What did people do to this land? They built upon it. They had built houses. They created highways. They created infrastructure, railways, airports, towns, schools, hospitals, everything that we live in. Well, that's known as autogen, unless it's specifically been drawn, as I specifically drew the farm. And so at the very bottom is the mesh, which is the Ortho 4 XP. I have my own special with high resolution scenery from normally the Bing satellite. In this case, it came from Google. Thank you very much, Google. And then the overlays, which is includes the autogen of the automatically generated pieces of the places where we live, work, and play, and get fixed and die, and so on and so forth. And that is in these places, the big cities of the world: Dubai, Las Vegas, London, New York, Sydney. And so that stuff resides upon the mesh, which upon the mesh is this stuff here. And on top of that are the libraries that people have created of stuff that we get to actually see. See that Orbic stuff, Southern California, True Earth, Great Britain, and all these guys. Hey guys! All these guys from the Wave Library, Fruit Stained, Handy Objects, RU Scenery, RU Library. This is an homage to you guys. RA Library, Open Scenery X, Naps, Mr. X Scenery, Mr. X Library, Mr. X himself, Heli Scenery Objects, Flags of the World, CDB Library, the PS 2001 Object Library, and then we have the payware stuff. KSEA, the Global Airports, Custom Scenery. Oh, wait a second. Custom Scenery? Is that stuff that we build? But wait, all we got in there is SoCal. Wait a second. What's the deal? Well, guess what? This all is up here on P. And we are just now about to load X-Plane from C, because we put all the contents of Custom Scenery up here on P, right here. We put all those contents through a symbolic link to drive C. So that's where we're going. We're going to get out of drive P, the originator of the stuff, at least latest originator. There are at least 4, in other words, versions of X-Plane. Remember I said you bust stuff in X-Plane if you mess around it with enough? Well, I've learned my lesson, and I've done what I do and did what I did and flew in it and loved it and added stuff to it and broke the frickin' thing until it would no longer work. Well, thank you very much. The guys that gave us X-Plane said, you know, we kind of sort of know that you're going to build on it and put stuff in it and make it do stuff that we didn't design it to do because you guys are a bunch of nosy sons of guns and want to put your own scenery in there and you're on airplanes and on and on and on, and we know you're going to break the frickin' thing. And that's what we do. So, if you're smart, the first thing you do, at least 10 years after you screwed up the first time around, 10 years later you say, dude, if Microsoft is going to screw around with you after you ask for help with this new wonderful Microsoft Flight Simulator that said, oh, we know that we offered you for 16 years. We know that. Look, we got something wonderful, we promise. And we all said, yeah, fuck you. Go. No, we got something terrific here. We got something really swell. You got to see it. Listen. You got the movers and shakers up there. We got all kinds of guys with their channels. I mean, if we go up here and we go to, I don't know, YouTube, right and we go to subscriptions, and we see things like, oh my God, look at all these subscriptions of these people that do flight sim stuff and do scenery and make airplanes and do all kinds of stuff that we all use from the xplane.org, and we keep on doing it until the fucking thing breaks. If you're smart, you realize it's going to break. And the first time that you come back to X-Plane in 10 years, the first thing you do is you load a pristine copy of X-Plane, the latest version, and you make damn sure they make a copy of it before you even launch the fucking thing. So now you got a pristine copy. My pristine copy, my original was up there on P. It's on not only a different drive, but on a different partition. It's not on a different partition, it's on a different hard drive. Now, it's not a hard drive. I've gone to SSD, but not only have I gone to SSD, I found out about these things that they're SSDs. They're out on the motherboard, right? And they're about 5 times faster than SSDs. So, okay. Well, that's. I'm being told to shut up or drink my water because I don't hydrate myself right. But anyway, the bottom line is what you're about to see is the recipient of the scenery up there on drive P, and what we have is on drive C, and still 2 different versions. Here's the clean copy and the clean updated copy, which I screwed up. But I was smart enough to do a clean copy of this guy. That was the first one. So I've only screwed up with this with one thing, and that is that global scenery is there, its own, it's all updated, but But custom scenery here on C, custom scenery is, wait a second, it's only got Stinking Creek. It doesn't have any of the other stuff in it. Where is Barberville? And the reason that Barberville's not there is because this is a pristine copy of the pristine P : X-Plane. I did not put the results of that symbolic link you just saw me point out in drive P here. This is pristine. What I did was I put it over here in the copy, which has, notice, oh, it's a shortcut to custom scenery. Oh, really? Well, what kind of shortcut is it? Oh, it's got link properties. Oh, okay, oh, it's C:, yeah, it's C:, right? Custom scenery and all that. Wait, it's a shortcut. Whoop. Oh, it's a symbolic link to where? To where? Oh, P: custom scenery. Custom scenery. Okay. I got it. So let's see. Let's see the results here. Let's see if we go to the right place and launch what shouldn't have Barberville in it anymore because it crashed the GD X-Plane. Let's see if it works. So, we're going to use our, Explorer here. Open up the Explorer. We're going to go to downloads. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're making use of, we're going to go to Chaz PC. We're going to go to local disk C. We're going to come to the bottom where it says X-Plane. We're going to open up the X-Plane clean, and we're going to open up that X-Plane right there because it doesn't have Barberville in it. I hope. We shall see. It's crash. Notice that the wonderful virtual desktop that we had went away. It says, you know what? We can't reside together, and since you're making use of your Reverb G2, which is a mixed reality device and works in Windows okay, but X-Plane makes use of, yeah, that's right, Steam VR. Okay, and so does Virtual Desktop. Got it. All right. Thank you very much, Virtual Desktop. Let me see if we are seeing the same thing. We are. All right. We're going to go to resume the last flight. Let's see what we got. Now, did I actually do anything in today in the Stinking Creek scenery? And the answer is I don't think. Yes, I did. I gave the heliport the proper designation that the scenery development program that X-Plane folks created is demanding that okay, now notice it's saying, oh, we got third-party stuff here. All right. Ooh, what do we see here? Oh, this is rather swell. Let's come up just a little bit. By the way, sorry about that. Let me make sure you see. Oh, see, you're not seeing what you're supposed to see. Let's go over here to let's go over to not Oculus and get rid of Oculus here. Go away. We want to make use of, where is it, VR view right there, so you can be looking at it there while I'm looking at it in VR. You're looking at the flat pot, I'm looking at the VR pot, we're both seeing the same picture. How cool is that? Alright, this looks like it's sunset-ish. We could look. You want to go look? Let's go. Uh-oh. Guess what? I can't have my mouse. I can't use my mouse if you're looking at what you're looking at, which is namely the VR view, which is coming from Steam. So I don't have access to the mouse. You don't believe me? Watch. I'm going to go over to X System, and I'm going to go right there, and notice that I do have a mouse. But look at the circumscribed screen. You've got the left cut off and the right cut off. What the hell's the deal here? Well, I'm sorry, but that's what X-Plane does to you. But Steam, in their magnanimousness, decided, well, I'll tell you what, you're using Steam VR, so why don't we let you see it inside of Steam VR, but using one of the eyes. Note that MSFS can only show you both eyes, so I've been flying in VR, and you have too if you watch my channel, and you've got anything from a cardboard to all the way up to well, a G2 and beyond. Alright, so you should be looking at the same picture I am, and now we see, make sure that we got to clear this area, and we're going to get rid of the browser. We'll minimize the browser. And what else? We're going to get rid of. Why are we allowing Edge to do anything? I'm closing that. Thank you very much. Go away. And what is this? This is web. If we could, let's close Steam, because we only need Steam VR, and we need, we don't need web right now, so we can close it. Yes, I want to save. Now, that should, it didn't give us the full screen. Well, close to it. Let me close this guy. Sorry you have to see that, but I can't figure out why something is working. Oh, maybe it's this. Close. Everything go away that shouldn't be there. Yay! Okay, guys, you get to see what I see. You ready? Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to show you what time o'clock we are flying. And let me do that. And so I have my mouse, and I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to go to flight, and flight configuration, and it says, it's supposed to say 1836 local. So that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. Let's go ahead and resume the flight. Now let's change it to a little bit more light. Oh, that's too dark. A little bit. That's good. Okay. By the way, over there is the scenery I did 10 years ago. Well, let me show you. Here we go. Okay, H-135, 145, and I've been flying this for 4 months. And flying fixed wing for 39 years and 8 months. So forgive my flying. I crash a lot. Yeah, but I'm going to try to do good. I'm going to try to do good here. This is the result of the scenery that I created with the airport K69. Remember, we had a little grass strip. It's only 500 feet long. You better get down, guys. We have a little gas situation there. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places for folks to park. And down there is the farm that I drew in G-Max and brought into X-Plane. And there is Mama Carnes Museum. Mama Carnes ran a country store here and ran it for 70 years. She was married to Will Carnes. And there are a lot of Carneses here in Knox County, Kentucky. Well, when I first came out here, I was spooning my wife. We met at a soap opera acting class in New York City, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And she says, "Hi there. How are ye?" No, she didn't say. She didn't talk like that. Yes, and that's Mela right there. Say hello to everybody, Mela. Mela is treating her upstanding ladies. What's the name of the group? The what? The Spirited Women. Well, I'll show you where they are. I'll show you exactly where they are. There. Are you on the front porch or the back porch now? Say again? Okay. Well, I'll show you the back. They're out by the barn and the shed. And there's the shed right there where I've turned into a, you'll see, check my channel, you'll see I've turned it into a workshop. And right down there is the barn. Let me see if I can get you down a little bit without crashing. There's the barn, and that's exactly what it looks like. And there's the RV that was there 10 years ago that my son, when we brought him over from New Jersey, and they said, "Oh my God, Dad, what have you done to us? We got to go to live on Stinking Creek and go to Knox County High School." And we said, "Yes, and look at this glory. Get to know the folks. They're pretty swell." "No, we don't want to." "Yes, you do." And they did. Thanks to a wonderful gal in high school who befriended them and has since had 2 kids her own self, befriended Holly and Christian. There's Christian's RV, and there they are down there. There's the Spirited Ladies on the back porch. I can see them there. I swear to God, I swear I can see them. Let's take another look. Oh, they're making a damn fool of themselves back there behind that, and that, hidden by that RV in the pool. Oh, I got to put the pool in. I forgot. All right. So anyway, I screwed up on the texture. As you can see, the dormer, or what do they call that? That window that sticks out from the roof.
100 feet.
That texture is screwed up. So, but the Mama Carnes Museum came out to be well. So what do you mean, Mama Carnes Museum? What's the deal? Where's the store? Oh, well, that's a different story. The story is that this was a dirt road right here. As a matter of fact, you see that gravel? That's an actual picture of the dirt road that was here, that went from here all the way up. You see, this wasn't here. This is all Stinking Creek Road. It's actually Moore's Creek, they called it. And we went up here, and the property ends right up here at Gerald Bingham's place. And I drew Gerald Bingham's place as well. So Gerald's place is rather swell, and he also drove a school bus, and I didn't depict it this time. I should have. I'm sorry, Gerald. But that's Gerald's place. And so the demarcation line were these bushes here, and I said, well, Gerald, I want to put in an airstrip here. Where is your property line? He says, oh, they're at these bushes down here. And I said, okay. So 2,160 feet later, I decided that I was going to make this. I still got to fix this runway, but I think you can land on it now. I think. Anyways, so anyway, this is done in Gmax, and the bottom line is that it came in via, it first resided in FS4, and the bottom line is that I needed to do what Sketcher says you better. Don't you think about drawing anything in Sketcher unless you make it a group or an entity. Don't you dare, or you're going to be real sorry. So I neglected to do that in Gmax, and therefore all the pieces that you see were put together fine. I mean, it's a right swell farmhouse. It works good. You can see the bridge and all that stuff. Almost see the fact there's a concrete that goes down to the road. But wait a second, what's that underneath? What's the deal? Wait a second, that's grass. There's the shed and the barn up there, and the RV in the house. What the hell? You created a multi-level grass slope. What? Well, that's because that's the way it is. It goes all the way back here to 2 football fields back, and there is a gas well back here. So all this area here is sloped exactly this way, and I put the house and the barn and the shed and the RV on the slope so that it's accurate. But guess what? I didn't put the slope down correctly. That's about 20 feet off the real deck. Look, I'm going to come up to the damn farmhouse, and I'm going to come into the driveway with the real gravel that was there, and I'm going to come up there, and I'm going to go ahead and park. Whoa, I was going to park. I'm going to park. What? I did park. What the freak? The slope is, how big is this? Wait a second here. Let's go take a look on the outside. What the heck is going on out here? Oh my God. Oh jeez. Oh my Lord. Let me get out of here. Let me get back. Let me try a different way. That's too spooky. I'm gonna go view. And I'm gonna go to external. And I'm gonna go to circle. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's what I thought I did. And then we're gonna move away because it's too scary. Oh, wait a second. Is that where we're underneath the house? Whoa. That's just too freaky. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's what you paid. And we get down underneath here, and we see that. Oh, so, wait a second. To get an idea how much we gotta come down, the helicopter is on the ground, right? So if the helicopter's on the ground and I can stand up as a person and not get my head chopped off, then the road has gotta be at least 6 feet high, probably 7 or 8. And if we look at the specifications for the H-145, we'd know at the very top of the road at the dome where the all the equipment is up there, the collective and the dome flocky thingies up there that make the collective and what is the thing there on the right hand? It's called the stick there. What's it really called? The collective and the diagonal. Anyway, we need to come down and move the slope down. Jeez, 10 feet? What do you think, guys and gals? 10 feet? Maybe even 12 feet. Because here we go. Up we go. Up we go through the scenery. Whoa! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! Oh my God! But look at everything else. It's so cool. And even the West Field looks so cool. And there's the lights. Look at the lights. The lead-in lights. Let's go up here and see what's going on. Now, I have to explain, the H145 is a twin turbine. And we are moving up at about somewhere around, I don't know. Come on, move up, not down. Oh, look at that. We're coming up at about 3,000 feet a minute. And we're also going to run out of torque. So I need to bring the torque down. And now we see the sunset over towards Barberville. And let's come around. And look down. And notice that we're looking south. And notice that we're looking... Oh. Whoa. Whoa, we're about to die. We're about to frickin' die. We're about to get in the hills here. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. Alright, so that's what it looks like. How cool is that? Now I need to put the, you hear that thing? Ding, ding,
Maximum speed.
ding. Yeah, we're over torquing. And that's what the airport looks like from 3,000 feet. Okay? This is what it looks like at night. Yes, it's very easy to fly in to it. There's the helicopter pad. And the lead-in lights over there. I don't have them on the other side because it's too dangerous. You see those lead-in lights? So there's Mama Carnes Museum. Well, Mayla's aunt, her mother's sister, was embarrassed by how old that store was and how decrepit it was, and she tore it down. And I was crestfallen because Mayla had brought me down a month after her grandmother had died. And I almost crashed there, by the way. And here I stood on that gravel road, looking around at this glory. And yeah, this is some place that you'd pay to visit. Anyway, I saw the old country store. There wasn't a two-story log cabin there because guess what? When she tore it down, when her Aunt Roe Ellen, tore down that country store, she saved it. The floor, the sides, the counters, the shelves, and the contents. She built a two-story log cabin built an apartment on the top floor, and on the bottom floor, guess what was there? This is Rex Allen's place, by the way. And remember I told you about the Barberville Cemetery? We're going to land right in front of it. So, Roe, having saved her mother's place, put the country store back inside. How about that? Put her mother's country store that she ran for 70 years, put it back in the first floor of that 2-story log cabin. Now, I can see the problem. Yes, we did see that sign that I said, oh, maybe, well, let's go around here. Remember that log truck? Remember we said we saw Binghamtown Cemetery in black? Well, look what we see here. But here's the deal. Let me show you my mess up in the scenery. That's supposed to be on an alpha channel, that black. That's supposed to be actually white, I believe. Or whatever you choose the alpha's going to be. Notice it just disappeared. I've got that sign turned around backwards. It'll appear as we come around this side. See? And yes, that is an actual photograph. And so remind me, folks, that I need to, boy, we're kicking up dust, aren't we? Remind me that I need to turn that sign around. And I need to, beyond creating Rex's garage, and my son went off the road right there at that curve. More than several people have killed themselves right there on that curve. Look how sharp it is. My son didn't get killed. He was driving his sister's car. Okay, let's go on into Barberville. Barberville, here we come. Alright, boy, let's get in there and see some Barberville. Damn, son. This is 223. And the sun's about to set. And we're coming out of 223 into 25E. And we're about to turn into 25E right about there we go. 25E. Look at there, 4 lanes. And the creek mark down there. And Lord have mercy. You've been in God's country, I'll tell you what. And look at there, you got yourself a couple of a couple of cell towers that I still got to draw, because this is a road for cell towers that comes up at a 45-degree angle. Look at there, I'm going to stick them suckers right up on top of there just the way they're supposed to be. Anyway, and you can see where to go, right on down there. Now we're going to get back on down there to Stinking Creek Road. That is the old Stinking Creek Road that went into Barberville. So let's take 25E. Stinking Creek Road used to be 25E into Barberville. Whoop. I'm torquing out too much. I'm screwing around too much. I gotta gain too much altitude, because we're in the hills of Kentucky, son. We used to have a guy that came out and did yard work for us, and he'd come by at the end of the day and said, "Hey, Mr. H, I just come by to get my payday." And so I give him what I figured that we'd agreed upon, which is about $3 more than the minimum, what I considered minimum wage should be, and that was 20 years ago, and I figured it ought to be 15 back then. So, oh, looky there. Now I got to draw the school. This is Knox County School. This at a high school. This is where my kids, Hallie and Christian, went. That's going to be a fun job. Right across there is the Creek Mart. Okay. Here we go. No, it's not the Creek Mart. It's something else. Here's the baseball field. See, this is all done with level of detail 19. No, 17. The farm and 5 kilometers around the farm is done in 17. If I'd done the entire tile, this tile 036 minus 84, if I'd done the entire tile in ZL, zoom level, or LOD 19, guess what, folks? It would have cost me, and did cost me, over 106 gigabytes worth of space. And I said, no, let's put some light on the subject here. This is the Walmart Shopping Center, which hopefully I'll be able to present to you later on. But as you can see, the satellite, whoa, the satellite did a rather good job. I almost killed this. I'm so sorry. All right, remember Barville? I said that we wanted to get all the autogen scenery out of well, first we wanted to get it out of the area of the hospital, because we're going to put in the hospital landing pad, right? I think that'll be here in the Barberville footage. But there's that's the hospital. And guess what? The exclusion zone worked. There is no autogen scenery down there. So I'm ready to rock and roll with actual scenery. I will be able to give you guys my 3D Parkway Plaza. Those are the water towers. I did those in 3D too. Nothing else has been done in 3D. You see the extent of it. But guess what? That exclusion zone that we did frickin' worked, folks. Hell yeah. Now, one other exclusion zone, well, big other exclusion zone was all of Barberville. Now, I'll be throwing trees down there where trees belong. We're going to follow Knox Street coming down here, and the reason we're following Knox Street is because Knox Street comes off of 25E to the county seat of Knox County, Barberville, Kentucky. And it comes down Knox Street. There are 2 main streets that lead from 25E near Barberville, and that is Knox Street right there, and this street over here. And if we follow Knox Street, we will follow it down until it runs into a freaking dead end, because you know what's at the dead end, y'all? It's the freaking county seat, the Courthouse Square. And that's what I'm working on right now. I got to draw all this flat ass shit and make the courthouse right there that no longer has any trees on it. I'm going to make that freaking courthouse 3D. That's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to go over to Union College, and I'm going to do the same damn thing. Because I got rid of all the trees in downtown Barville and all the court square. I've already captured this. I got screenshots. I got shots of all over the court square. And we cleared off all the gen trees off of Union football field too. And I gotta build a frickin' stadium. Shit. Well, guess what? This was one hell of a success, and you guys were in on it. You watch me do it. And that's what you guys can do. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to say, I smell my wife's cooking. And I'm going to say, I love y'all. You take care of yourself. I'm going to go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go land on that damn football field. And I'm going to go out into the back porch where you see me come from. I'm going to go out there in that back porch and have some of my wife's victuals, because she's one hell of a cook. I'll tell you what. And she also goes by the name of Destiny Knox, and I might bring her aboard and stick her here and try to teach her some things about flying, and let her, Destiny Knox, yak your ear off about what's going on down here in Barville and Stinking Creek and what not. And anyhow, let's see if I can mess up and get it right, and see if we can't land on top of... Oh, we skidded a little bit, but let's see where we got to. Let's go see. And we're going to go to external. And whoops, let's try that again. Oh, circle. And there we go. Hot damn. We're going to get up on above that Barville down there and see. Are we really in the middle of Barville? Let me see. Oh, wait a second. I'm in the middle of Union College football field, the big old damn UC football field. Holy crap, and we've got the Google Earth down there, flat as can be, and giving me an invitation to turn that whole area into Chaz artwork with the technology of SketchUp and the like. Looky there. Looky there. Looky there. That's where I live. And so, I'll simply say, folks, I'm glad you came with me. And yes, that's the Earth. And I'm going to take my glasses off. Or at least, no, I'll let you see what we're doing. I'll let you look at the curvature of the Earth as we do that. And we're going to go to GeForce. And we're going to go up here to that old thingy up there that is not acting proper. I think that might do it. I don't know, but I think. Come on. I know you can do it. I believe you can do it. I'm going to take you away from the reality of things, and I'm going to have to go there, and I'm going to have to get rid of that, and I'm going to have to get rid of VR view, and I'm going to have to come back and give you the reality of the world, and I'm going to have to see if I can't get over here. Oh, we're ready, and look at there. Isn't that cool? That's very cool to see that the virtual desktop said, okay, he's done with VR. He's done with X-Plane. Let's go ahead and pop up again to provide the service that he paid for. And that's what happened. Okay, so let's get over to where I need to be to do what I need to do, and that is I'm going to have to go to Windows and Y to get the cursor back, and go right click to that, and A to that, and N for NVIDIA, and that for NVIDIA Corporation, and the GeForce thingamaru, and Go right there, and ooh, I'm still broadcasting. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, it's been a hoot and Annie, and I really, really enjoy you coming along with me. I love y'all, and I'm sending protective and healing vibes to you and your loved ones. It's Chaz, November 146 Charlie Hotel from Knox County, Kentucky. And K69, Carnes Farm, saying, I love y'all, and you take care of one another, and adios.